won't be joining the podium, I'll be shaking it up. Nothing like a student union welcome. Let's bring this down. I mean, I don't typically wear these garbs, I have to say. You'll usually see me walking around campus in usually quite a jazzy shirt, I'll be honest. It's usually pink or something like that, usually a paisley print. But now that you've given me this medallion, I might just keep it, take it to the paint parties and stuff like that. I think I look pretty good. Welcome to the University of Strathclyde. I've been informed that there are around 600 of you in the building today. All 600 of you are the newest members of the Strathclyde Student Union. So welcome. My name is Crilly. I am the president of the Student Union this year. Can I actually just see a little raise of hands? Who has already been in the Student Union since arriving? It's a fair few of you. Hope you've been enjoying our Freshers Week. Our Freshers Week has been absolutely banging, if I do say so myself this year. We've had some plenty of good acts. I'm sure we're all having a fantastic time. I'll be honest, there's a couple of people I recognise in the room. I won't necessarily embarrass them, but they weren't able to raise their hand when they're entering the Student Union, so not bad, just a couple to a few drinks before arriving. Apologies if that was yourself. The Student Union, however, is more than just the bars. It's more than just the paint parties and the cafes and the pub quizzes. I mean, that's what people think about when they think Student Union. That's what comes into your head. But the Student Union is our place as students on campus. So like you, I'm a student. However, this year I'm taking a year out of my studies to run the Student Union, but also to be the primary representative of students on campus. So I run the building, but I also go and attend relevant university committee meetings and represent your voice there. And that's a really important thing that we have, because your time here at the university will be the best time of your life. And the job of the Student Union is to take the challenges and the difficulties you face as students and work with the university to try and address those problems. And that's why I'd encourage you all to become student representatives yourself. You're all capable of doing it. When I was a first year, there's no way I would have thought I'd be up on the stage right now delivering a speech. In fact, even last year, as I sat behind this stage here, and I was waiting to be graduating, I didn't know I was going to be up here. I didn't expect to be student president. Now, you don't have to take my job. In fact, I'd ask you not to, because it's handsomely paid and I'm quite enjoying myself. But you can take the job of the other vice presidents. You can run in the election this year. You can stand to become class rep, faculty rep, halls rep. All of these people champion the student voice on campus. So when you attend your week 1 classes, probably next week, and the lecturer says, "Who wants to be the class rep?" and the room sort of turns into this. I need all of you to raise your hands. We need 100 people in that class standing to be the class representative, to take the issues of the class to the university so we can improve the class, so they can improve our overall student experience. I'd really encourage you to be a class rep. I'd really encourage you to be a faculty rep. I'd really encourage you to go for student president, if that's your thing. But alongside the bars, the cafes, and even the representative stuff, we also have a different side to the student union, and that's the opportunities that we offer. So, in the student union right now, we have over 170 clubs and societies, all equally amazing. All absolutely fantastic opportunities, and they're all student-run, student-led, and they're all waiting to hear from you. So we have everything from a debating society, which hosts topical debates on current affairs, and we have cultural groups like our Indian Student Association, led by the fantastic Shivani, who organises wonderful, amazing events. We've even got a coffee society. And for those of you who have heard my speech before, you know what's coming, and I want you to laugh anyway. We have a coffee society, and instead of a president of the coffee society has a chief roaster. They have a chief roaster, and looking around this room today, I see plenty of faces who have the talent, the capability to be Strathclyde University chief roaster. Unofficially, I was a chief roaster when I was in first year, not the coffee society, unrelated. Some may even say I'm still the chief roaster, that's fine, that's good. But get involved in the clubs and societies. There's 170 of them. And if you look at the list and there's not one for you, and you have something in your mind, your little hobby or interest, where you think it would be fantastic to get together with your peers and take on that issue, then establish the society. We're always here waiting for you in the student union to establish any group you want. And alongside the clubs and societies, we have over 50 sports clubs. So maybe coffee's not your thing, maybe you're into tea and you like football and you like netball. Join the football club, join the netball club. This is probably the best time to get involved at sport at the university. Now, I'll be the first to admit, I'm not really involved in sport. That's not really my thing. But as of next week, we have a new sports facility opening at the university. I'm sure you've all walked past it on Cathedral Street. And for those of you lucky enough to stay in halls just now, it's included in your halls contract. So you'll be able to enter there effectively free. I'm not so fortunate. The rest of us will probably have to pay, but it's pretty reasonably priced. But join the sports societies, join the student clubs, go to the sports centre. Honestly, the equipment in that centre is absolutely fantastic. And again, I know I've not been involved in sport, and I'm not too familiar with different sport and equipment, but it looks pretty state-of-the-art, it looks pretty good, so I'd encourage you to get stuck in. Now, on a slightly more serious note, we have an advice hub service in the student union, which I'd encourage you to make use of if you need it. Again, we're trying to make sure that you have the best time possible while studying at the university. Now, our advice hub service offers independent advice on all personal issues, financial issues, problems with accommodation, everything you can imagine. And unlike me, they're not a student, so they're actually professionally trained. They don't study history, which wouldn't be particularly relevant given accommodation advice. But I can also help out. And if you need anything whilst you're here in the next year, send me a message, send me an email, and most of the time I'll probably be referring you to different services. But we can also sort of champion your voice and take it to the university, who will be happy to listen to us. So make use of the advice hub. Now, what I'd sort of finally say is, for those of you lucky enough to be joining us on an undergraduate course this year, or perhaps you're here for 4 or 5 years, you'll be the first students at the university to benefit from the new student union which is coming. So we have a learning and teaching building project. It's due to be finished in 2020. So you'll have the benefit of exploring our 90 John Street purpose-built student accommodation from sort of quite a few decades ago now. It's looking a wee bit tired, but it's a fantastic facility where you'll have the ability to see the new student union. And more importantly, thankfully due to the time that you've arrived at the university, I, alongside other student union staff, are actually in the process of designing the building. So over the next couple of months, we'll be taking out to you folks, what do you want to see in a student union? What do you want it to look like? And we'll be happy to sort of hear your feedback on that. I'd really encourage you to get involved. Now finally, before I pass back to the principal, I'll leave you with some wise words. Not from me, but from someone who is performing in the student union tonight at 9 PM, including your freshers pass or a small entry fee. Cascada. Now Cascada once said, every time you touch, I get the feeling. And I get that very same feeling when students get involved in clubs and societies and representation in sports clubs, when they fully join and make use of the student union. So take part in the student union, have the best time at Strathclyde, and if you have any troubles during your time, just fire me a wee message. But enjoy yourselves. Thank you.